My people at YouTube, what the fuck is up? So today we have some legs on the menu. We are currently in Houston, Texas, visiting all the Ekkovision boys. A lot of people are like, Jake, we gotta make a YouTube video. So that's what I'm doing here. We do have a lot of stuff going on. Yesterday, hit a push day with Mr. TNF, my coach. He recorded a YouTube video, so that should be pretty exciting. That's coming out on his thing, I'm assuming. And, you know, I've got a photo shoot coming up. I've got a podcast coming up. And all of these just awesome opportunities that have come to me just because I decided to make sacrifice, right? And this entire trip has felt like a complete, almost full circle moment for me in a sense, because these guys I've been watching for a while, especially TNF. I mean, I've been watching TNF since I was like 16 years old when I just started out in the gym. And now I'm his client. You know, I just hit a workout with him yesterday, and doing all of these things and having these moments where it's kind of full circle. It's like, holy shit, like, you know, I kind of did it. You know, I got to a place where I wanted to be in a year. Like, I've well surpassed my actual goals. For anyone who doesn't know, I think I've mentioned this on my TikTok account before, but my goal for the end of my like sophomore year of college was to have like 5,000 followers on TikTok. I wound up getting like 30,000, which was obviously a big overshoot. And then I set a goal for myself, and this seemed really outlandish. This was in like April, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get to 50,000 followers by the end of the summer. That's my goal. I got 50,000 followers within a month of me being home, not even. And then I got back from the summer, and, you know, I had 150,000 followers, and now we're almost up to 400,000 on TikTok. And thank you guys so much for all that. But it's not an accident, right? A lot of people think that when it comes to a social media perspective or building something in general, you kind of have a lucky break. I never really had. I don't have videos that are just like, holy shit, 30 million views, this guy's popping off. No, it hasn't been like that. I've been steadily gaining a lot of followers weekly for a long period of time. And I feel like that's so much of a better way to do it. You know, I've been building such a community. I've been building all of these things just literally because I decided to sacrifice, guys. I had a great social life in Indiana. You know, Indiana's a big party school. I could be going out every single weekend. Indiana's #1 in football in the country. And it's nuts there. I could be having such a great time socially and you know, having all these experience, like the college experience, whatever. I could do that. I could go and do all that. But I decided that running a business, a coaching business, making myself a personal brand in order to take this long term was the best option for me. And that's something that I needed to sacrifice for. And before, this is the most difficult part, guys. Before you actually get the success, you get these full circle moments like I'm having right now. I feel so incredibly blessed and grateful for the position that I'm currently in. I had to sacrifice before I got to that point. I had to think of myself in these shoes. And this is going to kind of sound like a weird thing to say, but it almost doesn't feel crazy to me that I'm here right now in these positions because I knew it was going to happen. I've been sacrificing for so long and putting in the work for so long, 10 videos a day for so long, getting it done no matter what, not missing a fucking day, that I knew what was going to happen. I knew that I could get here 100% because I was putting in so much fucking work, outworking literally everyone. I've had guys come up to me here who are in this space and are like, dude, I don't know how you do it. Like, you're a dog, like, you know, asking me for shit. And I just straight up willpowered through it. That's all I did because I fucking wanted it. And if you want it, you can get to your goals. You can, no matter what, get to the place you want to be. You have to first, though, envision yourself. And I know I mentioned this in the previous video, but it's so key, especially because I feel like, you know, I'm in a position now where it's just like, holy shit, I fucking did what I said I wanted to do. Being in these positions where you're envisioning yourself, you see what that guy who you want to be does, the future version of yourself, and then you take the steps and do what he is doing. Okay? Your future version, what is he doing? Oh, he's posting 10 times a day. oh, he's consistently hitting his macros. He's consistently dieting. He's never going off track. He's always sleeping. He's always literally on track with everything. I need to do what he does because he got to his goals from doing those things. So I need to put myself in the position I need to do these things, and then I will become him. So when I had this mindset of what I wanted to be, I had this vision of what I wanted to be, it was this guy who's extremely disciplined. He's fucking locked in on everything, all this stuff. I had that vision about myself, and I knew that the opportunities like this, me being in Houston right now and working out with all these incredible people and becoming so much more connected in the space, I knew that that was going to happen because I was putting in the work and I was sacrificing. So make the sacrifice for your goals, okay? And it shouldn't just be in the gym. If you have career goals, so you want to be a fucking investment banker, you want to go and crush your actual career or something, you apply the same advice. What is he doing? He's applying internships. He's doing this. He's studying really hard in school. He's doing all these things. He's not getting too drunk on the weekends. All of these different factors can apply to your life, but it just takes you figuring out where you want to go, who you want to be, and doing the work necessary to become that person. Let's go hit some motherfucking legs with Michael Sullivan, aka Booney Badger. I've been posing in a lot of these videos, and I'm fucking pissed about my legs. I'd be lying to you guys if I told you I wasn't fired the fuck up about the way I look, because I was not happy with the way I looked at all. Not happy at all. I'm gonna come back here this summer, fucking document this shit. Document this shit right now, because this is exactly what I was talking about. I am going to come back this summer or the next time, and I'm going to look like a completely different fucking human being. I am pissed off about the way I look. Fucking pissed. So I'm going to go in there and have this leg session and envision myself with the biggest fucking quads in the world, because my legs piss me off. Every single time I looked at them, I felt embarrassed. I will never, ever in my fucking life feel embarrassed about how my legs look or any part of my physique look. I will never be embarrassed about it again standing next to someone else. So let's go. Let's get Jack for working on this. right, so we are back home now. This was a phenomenal experience when it came to being in Houston, and it's definitely a trip I will probably always remember. One of the coolest things that I did while I was in Houston was actually getting to drive the CEO of Ekkovision's GT3 RS. And a lot of you guys know I am a ginormous car dork, and that car has been the profile picture or the background on my computer for the longest time. It has been, I've got a little GT3 RS on my desk at school, so actually getting to feel how it feels to drive that car just drove me and motivated me to get to a point of like, wow, that I can get that. I'm talking to people who have that, and I got to experience what it feels like to drive the car as a whole, which was insane to me, because I've had dreams about driving this car. I've had literal thoughts about this, obsessive thoughts about driving this car, and really getting to experience that was fucking insane. It was insane, and it was unbelievable. And I've got a whole life waiting for me in Houston, and I think that's definitely where I'm going to go once we're done with college. Really ride it out with all the Ekkovision boys. My coach, Mr. TNF, is there as well, making sure that we're, taking bodybuilding nice and serious, and having the coach right there always is going to help. And really just taking the gym and everything super serious, taking the business serious, and being surrounded by people who do the same thing. And that is such a big thing for me when I was down there, was just like, wow, everyone just gets it. I'm so used to talking to people, like all my friends at school, I love them to death, but it's like they're not doing the same thing that I am. They're applying to internships, they've got jobs, and I'm in a completely different situation to where, I'm running my own business, and being able to talk to people about my business, like my coach as well. The TNF helped me so much with, just running the business, everything about it, because I didn't really know what I'm doing. I'm still trying to figure this out myself, and getting to the point where it's like, okay, I'm starting to really figure things out now. I'm starting to move forward. The business is starting to do a lot better, and really making sure that I'm becoming an established person in this space is really the next goal for me, right? And having like striker coaching physical locations in the future. I got to film while I was in Houston the Echo podcast, which is out right now. You can go check it out. And on the Ekkovision YouTube channel with TNF, I did a whole athlete photo shoot. And the overall trip to Houston was phenomenal. I got treated very well by everyone, and it was a really great experience overall. And just talking to everyone, being around that kind of environment where everyone's hustling, I fucking love. And I love that everyone there was doing the same thing that I am, and I really get to experience that. And it really just fired me up, and it's almost a full circle moment. You guys have seen me the last few weeks, and I get pretty real on my YouTube channel about how I've been struggling, just feeling like I'm stuck in college, all this stuff, and then really getting out of my bubble and getting to experience what it's like on the other side just motivated me even more to keep going. And again, guys, I just feel overall so blessed for every single thing that you guys have given me. I just hit 400,000 followers, and we're moving. I've got so many blessings that have been coming up in my life just because of the amount that I've sacrificed, right? And I'm working so hard, but it's really starting to feel like it's paying off. And I was just saying this to my buddy, and he was like, bro, you're only 22. Like, there's still so much more to go. And I just am really feeling like I'm getting to a place where I'm building something really great, and that's how it feels. And it's very exciting to see what's going to happen in the future, and where my life is going to go from here. But social media is an insane space. Everything can change overnight. And a year ago, I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't have any kind of social platform. And now I'm getting flown out to Houston. I'm meeting all these guys. I drove a fucking GT3 RS, and I'm getting bigger. I'm going bodybuilding, and it's just such a phenomenal experience. And I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. And a lot of you guys see me in my YouTube video, or my TikToks and Instagrams being all crazy. And I want you guys to know that is a persona. I've said it before. I'm pretty open about it. But my YouTube is more of a place for me to be more real, real with you guys, what's actually going on in my life. No, I'm not that insane. I'm not always screaming at people. I don't have a completely terrible mouth. It's not great by any means, but all these things just drive engagement, makes the videos more entertaining to watch. Because if you're trying to watch an informational video at the end of the day, who the fuck wants a boring one? Okay, I know I'm not sitting there and watching a guy's like, this is what you should do for muscles. No one gives a fuck about that, right? And the curse words, all that shit, it adds emphasis, and it shows a little bit more of my personality in general. But yeah, guys, that was a great YouTube video. Hopefully the legs got a little bit bigger, because they're not great right now. A lot of years of training them like an idiot. So now they look pretty stupid, but they're not awful, but they could definitely be getting better. So I just got to keep executing on the plan. In terms of future plans with the diet, day after Christmas, I am starting my deficit. So we're riding that out. Sorry for the dogs barking, but we're riding that out, and I got to go into prep at 10% body fat. So let's go. Let's get jacked. Appreciate you all. Peace out.